Does Cardano have a gas problem? I thought only Ethereum had a gas problem, right? Let's find out. What's up, YouTube community, and welcome to Invest Desk, your #1 channel for investing in cryptocurrency with daily updates, news, forecasts. My name is Syed, and today we are going to take a deep dive into taking a look at what is Ethereum and why does it have a gas problem, right? And how this can drive the Cardano price up to $10 all the way. So Ethereum, as you know, perhaps it is the cryptocurrency that is #2 on the ranking, with Bitcoin being #1. But Bitcoin is just another coin, just like Ethereum, right? So I'm going to take a look at what Ethereum is and how gas works with Ethereum, current issues, what is being done to fix these issues within Ethereum. The Ethereum network is an open source, right? Programmable blockchain that allows the creation of smart contract or mini software programs, right? With fixed rules to govern user interaction. So example could be a payment on a set date on every week, a reward for completing a certain task, or a payout for winning a game, right? A smart contract is just a computer program, by the way, which is basically intended to automatically execute or control a document that is relevant, right? So the terms of the contract, right, as per the contract or agreement, the main objective of a smart contract are #1, the reduction of need and intermediaries. Second is the arbitration, the enforcement costs, fraud losses, as well as reduction of malicious or other exceptions. By the way, vending machines are the oldest piece of technology equivalent to smart contracts being implemented today. Go figure that, right? So the maintenance and the security of the Ethereum blockchain is powered by the incentive, also called Ethereum, also known as the Ether, right? ETH. The way Ethereum works is just not the Ethereum network itself, but it also allows users to create their own cryptocurrencies, right? Known as tokens, each with its own rules and uses. And smart contracts also. And most tokens, by the way, created on Ethereum, they follow a certain a pattern, right? Okay. So these 20 tokens have to obey the blockchain, structure, okay, as well as interoperability. And beyond that, the rules are up to the creator, whoever creates it. So 20 tokens, I say, right? So just know that in the Ethereum system, token represent a diverse range of digital assets, such as, real world tangible objects even, okay? So Ethereum tokens are smart contracts that make use of the Ethereum blockchain. So one of the most significant Ethereum token, known as ERC20, right, has emerged as a technical standard, right? It's used for all smart contracts on the blockchain, okay? And it provides a list of rules that the tokens must follow. For example, top tokens are Chainlink, US dollar, okay, and there's Uniswap, which is a protocol, right? So all of these are the examples of top tokens, okay? So the Ethereum is designed for simple transaction, from transfer of wealth from one person to the other, right? But it allows complicated sets of rules to be created as well, right? So for example, centralized services from companies such as Coinbase, which is, by the way, going public this month. I covered that in the last stream. And of course, and Binance also, right? So basically making purchasing and transacting in cryptocurrency easy for us, okay? So it's easy to simply just give your identification documents to them, your ID, upload an ID, and you get an account created, and they take care of the rest, right? So not only you're paying the fees to the provider, but they take care of all of the rest of the transaction fees associated to it, right? So the problem is that if you lose your money, you can't really do anything with it, with all these exchanges, right? So you cannot control your keys and not your crypto. So remember, I've always said that always try to get your own wallet, preferably hardware based, like Ledger Nano S. I place a link, by the way, in description. If you just follow below, you should be able to see the link of Ledger Nano S. Go check that out, okay? So now that you know this, right, let's talk about the gas itself. What is gas, okay? So in simple definition, gas is the fee or the pricing value that is required to execute a transaction or a contract on Ethereum blockchain, right? And that's what gas is. In other words, Since each Ethereum transaction requires computational resources to execute resources, each transaction requires a fee. And gas refers to the fee required to successfully conduct a transaction, right? So gas fees are paid in Ethereum native currency, which is Ether, right? ETH. And gas prices are denoted in Gwei, which is a denomination of like each Gwei is equal to 0.0000, something like that. But we call it 1 Gwei, right? It's easier that way. So instead of saying all this, your gas costs 0.00, you simply says, you simply say that it's 1 Gwei, okay? Your gas costs 1 Gwei, easier. So think of this in simpler terms. So Ethereum is like a car engine, okay? And gas in Ethereum like a gas in your car. You go to a gas station, you put your car in, okay? Gas in, and you pay. In real life, you pay in US dollars, right? To buy gas. But to execute a smart contract is like taking a trip, and then executing a smart contract is like covering certain distances. So smart contract execution prices like total cost of the trip itself, right? And when making an Ethereum transaction is always a fee, and that's called gas, right? Which must be paid in ETH, right? So it can't be paid in cryptocurrency that you're sending. And this isn't a problem with the the central services, but the exchanges kind of work it out, and they just, of course, charge you a premium, and they take care of everything, right? So the problem comes with the non-custodial wallets, where you have to cover the gas fee yourself. On top of that, if you want to send it, let's say 20 token, you have to have in the same wallet to cover the fee, okay? So let's take a look at the process itself, and how does this work when you want to send a transaction from your non-custodial wallet and only holds like 20 tokens and no ETH. So you will need to, of course, transfer enough in your wallet to get the token out. If you don't have enough ETH in another wallet, you might have to open up another service, right, to cover the fee or additional fee that they charge and send that to your wallet, okay? And you also have to factor in the Ethereum network transfer fee constantly. By the time it reaches your wallet, enough Ethereum remains to make the original transaction. On the other hand, by the way, you might also end up sending too much and have some small amount stuck in your account that you may never actually use, right? Or be priced out of sending because of the gas fees, right? Yeah, it's confusing, right? But no worries. It's not really a simple process, but you get the idea. We're talking about gas, right? So the decentralized finance, or DeFi, has explosion has exposed Ethereum on a day-to-day payment basis, right? And that is slow and expensive. But why? Because Ethereum is currently based on proof of work now, okay, and consensus mechanism. But that is now changing into proof of stake. But that's going to take another couple of years. But Ethereum is working, and always the plan in Ethereum 2.0 coming up, right, as part of the community strategy, and upgrade Ethereum to 2.0. And just give you another piece of information, right, that this proof of work system has better energy efficiency, so you don't need to use lots of energy mining blocks, for example. There'll be lower barriers to entry, reduced hardware. You don't need powerful hardware for new blocks. Then you'll have stronger immunity to centralization, right? So proof of stake should lead to definitely more nodes on the network. And then stronger support for shard chains, which is a key upgrade in scaling the Ethereum network. So back to our transaction of Ethereum, right? So you're getting the idea that all these nodes and all these transactions on Ethereum are occurring. And of course, you're paying a fee. You're paying a gas fee. That's called the gas, right? So anyone running a node gets, paid a fee in gas. So it's simple. You want to make a transaction and want priority over everyone else, so you pay a higher fee. Job done, right? Easy as that. Well, it's a little bit more complicated. Ethereum settlement layer can only cope with 15 transactions per second, which is transaction per second TPS, right? And just there's a fee structure. So instead, it's a variable price based, how busy the Ethereum network is and how fast you want the transaction done. So Ethereum network is quiet. The 15 transactions per second, right, and the gas fees could be cheap. The problem arises when everyone wants to use the network, right? It gets busy and the network bottlenecks are created. So you have to pay a higher gas fee for priority, but everyone wants priority, right? So everyone, outbids one another, and the gas fee continues to increase. And currently gas fees are around $5 to maybe $20 wallet to wallet transactions, regardless of the amount that you're actually sending. And when interacting with smart contracts, such as Uniswap, for example, the decentralized trading protocol, the fees can actually reach 10 times higher. How can we make it faster, right? How can we make it cheaper? How can we make it user-friendly? So gas fee issue is not a new one. It was a problem in the 2017 bull run, and it's a problem now. And the fact is that until it gets fixed, we're not going to see full adoption of Ethereum as a payment system, right? It needs what's it called scaling. The launch of Ethereum 2.0 will be the biggest upgrade to date, right? The scalability, by the way, offered by Ethereum 2.0 should result in faster transaction speeds and lower fees and users. And there's one big problem. It's not ready. We're not there yet, okay? So Ethereum is huge and overgrowing, and it can change the world, certainly. But if the gas remains an issue, it's gonna, take longer. So let's take a look at Cardano now and see how that works out, right? So Cardano is a proof of stake blockchain, the first to be founded on peer review and developed on evidence-based method, right? And it combines pioneering technologies and sustainability to decentralize applications, systems, and societies at large, basically capitalizing on Ethereum gas problem, right? Because cryptocurrencies are always solving some kind of problem, and Cardano is the one that actually solved, to some extent, this gas problem, right? But wait a minute, does Cardano itself has a gas problem or not? So the short answer is that it's actually a lot better than Ethereum, right? It's the fees are low, very low, and sometimes even without fees that you get processed, okay? So let's take a closer look at the actual Cardano fee structure. And I'm going to demonstrate that. I'm going to put that up so you can actually see and put links in the description. So welcome, guys. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, by the way, and the like button and the bell notification. So if you're here, if you're new to this channel. So what Cardano has done is basically took all that fee, right, and put it in the pool, and that's and then the users get paid from that pool, okay? So, and that's fine, but of course there's an issue in that, because then the users are saying, well, who gets what priority, right? And how are fees distributed, basically? So all transaction fees collected in a virtual pool within Cardano, and then the idea is to redistribute among people who were elected leaders, based on their stake algorithm within the blocks. So Cardano is going to take advantage of game theory. That's the key word, right? And I'm going to show you what game theory is, right? So coming up with this particular scheme and solving this mathematical problem, how do we actually promote efficiency and bad behavior and attacks among these pool users, right? How can they participate within the actual pool and behave in a good manner, right? So Cardano is actually using game theory, right? And that's the real trick, okay? To give the users the incentive based on their performance, okay? Based on the reviews, based on the performance. So basically, Cardano is built to Cardano itself is actually it's a fantastic cryptocurrency, because it solves in problems in the agriculture industry, healthcare, government, and so on. Okay, so that's the reason why Cardano price has risen so far, right? It's at, I think, $1.25-23 was this morning, but we'll take a look at the chart shortly, and I'm going to demonstrate what Cardano's price is. So, and that's really what we're talking about here, okay? Because Cardano jumped from, I believe it was 4 or 5 days ago at 0.8 and 0.9, and then of course at $1.25 a price a share. So, and that's the reason, okay? So this is the main reason what Cardano solves that Ethereum cannot, at least to this point, until Ethereum upgrades to 2.0, which is at least a couple of years, maybe even longer, depending on how many developers are working on that. But Cardano came up smart, okay, and it's positioned pretty well, and that's why it just bumped up its rank on the chart as well. So it's number 3 on the chart. All right, so I hope this kind of helps. This gives you a nice background and solid foundation in deciding whether you want to invest in Cardano or stay in Ethereum or stay in both. So personally, of course, not being a financial advisor, right, guys, but I'm just here to share my research and my strategy. So definitely Cardano is going to be the stock cryptocurrency that is going to hit $10 maybe end of the year. That's my own personal prediction. Okay, and yes, of course, I'm also part of Cardano as well as in my portfolios. All right, so welcome back, guys. So appreciate your joining. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you'll be getting the regular updates. And if you are already part of the subscriber, welcome back again. Let me go ahead and bring up the chart so we can see the Cardano price, and we'll compare the price with Ethereum. And of course, how can we forget Dogecoin, guys? Okay, you know that I'm a big fan. My number one priority is Dogecoin. You know, I know you're probably thinking, why didn't I mention this earlier? Where did the word go? Dogecoin, right? So we are going to also take a look at Dogecoin and how Dogecoin is positioned well. It was kind of quiet this morning. Doge has been performing stable. It went down yesterday, which was a perfect time to buy, and a lot of us bought it. Okay, but we'll take a look at the Cardano and of course Ethereum that I detailed out for you, so you can devise your effective investing and portfolio strategy. But we'll definitely take a look at Dogecoin. So let's go to the chart and take a look at the existing prices. Let's see if I can bring that up quick. There we go. Perfect. So this is how Cardano is performing at this point in time. And you'll see the price is at 1.23, 1.24, right? And it kind of stabilized at about this point, okay? So it shot up all the way, I went up all the way to 1.46, and now it's like averaging out and the price is stable, okay? And it's going sideways, okay? And that makes sense because every time there's a huge spike, of course, the price, the volume, the volatility, the momentum of the market is not going to be stabilized until, let's say, a new development or some new news come about regarding Cardano. So this is the price for Cardano, and let's take a look at, let me see if I can bring up the chat here. So welcome, guys, again. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. This is the channel where you are going to be looking at the latest updates, news, forecasts about cryptocurrency, primarily Dogecoin, but I do time to time cover if there's something real important and beneficial. I definitely cover that also for all of my followers. So yeah, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. And let's take a look at some of the comments, if any. Just give me a second. I'm kind of opening it up here. All right, so we're talking about, will Cardano go to $10? Okay, it already went up to $1.25-ish. That's what it is right now. And moving forward, we are going to take a look at where the Cardano price is. Okay, so welcome once again. We are on a bull run. We were on a bull run on Cardano, and I talked about the reason why Cardano actually, what it actually solved. Always remember, every single time a cryptocurrency has to solve a certain issue or a particular issue at hand, okay? And if it does, the price goes up. That's just, that's how it is, okay? So if you're able to resolve or solve a particular problem that the world at large is facing, that's the key point, okay? So what did Cardano do? What actually happened and what is happening? It's actually Ethereum. I talked about this, right? So Cardano is what it resolved was the fact that Ethereum charges gas fees, called gas fee, okay? And that's a high price for transactions on Ethereum blockchain. Whereas Cardano now is saying, all right, let's get rid of the fee. That's just get rid of the fee, and we will give you the same blockchain, our own blockchain, and then you can transact on that blockchain. Okay, and that's what Cardano actually is doing, okay, or has done. That's the reason why the price went up, because naturally what we want as humans is low price. So every time we get the same thing in a lower price, same quality, same everything, well, why do you want to pay a higher premium? Okay, and that's the key part of Cardano's strategy moving forward. However, Ethereum's Ethereum's pipeline, they already have it within the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, but that's going to be a couple of years. So within a couple of years, this Cardano stock could definitely hit $10, right? So I'm thinking maybe end of the year. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have first. Are you holding Cardano or not? Okay, so let's see. Are you holding Cardano? Let me write that down. Let me put a comment here. And if you are, that's great. And whether you sold it or not, so it depends on your strategy that you're using. And Ethereum too, by the way. And another thing I want to mention here is kind of important, because when we talk about these cryptocurrencies, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's DOGECOin, okay, or any other Litecoins, the idea is that they're not really in competition, okay? They just have different use cases. So we're not here to say one is better than the other, okay? That's probably not a good strategy, at least in my opinion, okay? The idea is that if you research the cryptocurrency and you understand its use case, you understand its design, why it was made, and what purpose it solves, okay? And if it solves a particular purpose, that's really the key to getting into and investing into that cryptocurrency, okay? And we know that Ethereum, of course, solves a purpose. It's there. It's number 2. And then, of course, Cardano resolved the gas problem that Ethereum is facing, okay? And that's exactly what made Cardano share jump up, okay? One of the reasons. Of course, there are other reasons as well, but this was the primary reason that I covered initially about what Ethereum is and how it's structured, what Cardano is and how it's structured, and what are the designs of these two cryptocurrencies, okay? So welcome again. Welcome to InvestDesk, this channel. This is the channel where you find the latest updates, research into the stock or cryptocurrency that you can invest in. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, guys, but definitely I do my research, and there are multiple portfolios. We have been covering this since last week, every single day. I've been streaming about Dogecoin. I'm taking a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. And there are some others as well. So I'm going to surprise you guys in the next couple of days. I'm going to come up with some of the hidden gems, as I call it, okay? So we'll take a look at what those are and how they can actually benefit when you're working with some of those upcoming cryptocurrencies, okay? Which are sometimes, overlooked. There are certain things that we don't pay attention to a lot, so I'm going to cover that also. So this is going to be a surprise for you guys. Next maybe a day or two, I'm going to get a list together and I'm going to demonstrate that. So yeah, welcome to this channel. So please subscribe if you're here as a new subscriber. I know a lot of you just watch and go, but yeah, I'd appreciate if you can subscribe. That'd be great, so we can reach our goal. And put a comment down. So are you holding Cardano? Do you think it's going to go to $10? I talked about the actual underlying design and what problem does Cardano solves that Ethereum cannot, right? That's the reason why Cardano stock kind of went up quite a bit, and that's the reason. And now you're seeing that the price is stabilizing for Cardano, okay? And the reason why it's stabilizing is because, of course, it shot up and now it's the same momentum for the market. So it's a little bit low volatility. Okay, this is maybe the squeeze period. And I'm also going to, of course, talk about the indicator that I mentioned yesterday. I'm going to get deeper into what the squeeze period is for that. So yeah, welcome once again. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. Will Cardano go to $10? We are, I'm certainly predicting yes, it will, maybe end of the year, because now, since the price has already jumped to where it wants to be, now is the time where it's going to stabilize itself and stay that way. And then, of course, once additional development keeps happening with Cardano, it will go up again. So that's the Cardano. Okay, so let me bring up our Dogecoin. So we talked about Ethereum, we talked about the Cardano, right? How it's going to do, but what about our good old Dogecoin? Okay, you can't ignore Dogecoin, guys. I have to talk about it, of course. Take a look at what's going on, because this is the #1 cryptocurrency that I'm actively involved in, day in, day out, and I talk about it. I stream every single day, and I'm on top of things. So, and I share this with you. So right now, Doge is about 0.051. It's actually up from yesterday. Okay, a little bit higher from yesterday, because yesterday was at 0.049, 0.05. So it's basically at the same level as it was last week or week and a half ago. Okay, but last week. So see, the dip here has only experienced one kind of downwards trend, and then of course the upward trend, and now it's stabilizing at the same price. So again, the perfect storm is cooking. We talked about a lot of new developments happening to Dogecoin, such as CoinFlip, the largest ATM network within the United States, over 1,800. They have implemented Dogecoin on their ATM network. So you can go to a gas station, you can go to a grocery store, you can go to a retail store. If they have the option for the ATM, if the ATM is there, you can transact in Dogecoin. So that was a pretty exciting thing. I covered that yesterday. So talking about, of course, will Cardano go to $10? Yes, and the important aspect here for us to take a look at and really think about and focus on is the fact that why it would go to $10, right? So that's really the underlying principles are the ones, the market conditions, the development of cryptocurrency is the one, the acceptance of cryptocurrency is one of the big factor where it kind of bumps up the price. So if Cardano can solve a problem that Ethereum, right, is having. Ethereum is having a problem with this gas, right? And here Cardano comes in and says, all right, I'm going to solve it. I'm going to give it cheaper. So everyone, of course, is going to jump on the lower cost transactions. And that's exactly what made Cardano jump. So with Dogecoin, we know in depth from the last week's analysis every single day that Dogecoin solves a problem also. It solves the problem of masses being able to transact in a particular currency, which is the Dogecoin itself, because other coins are not designed for masses. Dogecoin is perfectly well aligned, well designed, and well positioned, and we talked about that. So Doge is at 0.051. So we talked about yesterday whether you guys bought it at the dip or not. So if you did, wonderful. Right now the price is again back to 0.051. So low volatility period for the market, and of course it may just break out, right, to another all-time high. So if it goes to, let's say it's at 0.05, maybe it'll go back up to 0.07 or 8 where it was a couple of weeks ago. Okay, and that's where it was. So maybe it'll just go back up and then kind of stabilize itself. A lot of things are happening with Dogecoin. Companies are implementing it and using it. Okay, so I just wanted to cover this quick update. Not going to take long. The primary focus was whether Cardano is going to hit $10 or not, or even higher, or somewhere around there, right? So right now, let's go back to Cardano and take a look at what the price is. So it's right about $1.24, okay, and it went all the way up to $1.47, okay. So right now it's $1, and of course, if you just go back a little bit, see the huge upward turn for Cardano, and of course, there's reasons for it. It's not just mere speculation, guys. We talked about that, right? So I try not to base every time on speculation, but it's really the evidence, the market conditions, the things that are happening within Cardano itself, the problem it's trying to solve, okay? And of course, it takes time for it to grow. So same thing with Dogecoin. So Cardano is definitely a good stock. So I would rate it as a much better stock because it, of course, ranked itself. But now it's going to take a little while for Cardano to go up. But in a short to medium term, I see it happening, okay? That's my analysis. Again, that's just my personal analysis, guys, so don't hold me to it. Make sure you comment. What do you think? You have Cardano, and if you do have Cardano, when do you think Cardano could hit, or cross $5 or $10 as time progresses? Because it does solve one of the important issues with Ethereum, which is the gas issue, which is the fee issue, okay? And another thing that, again, I mentioned just briefly, but the way Cardano structures itself now in terms of paying out the users within the pool is also good, and it's based on game theory. So, and what that is if I can just bring the game theory up so we can see, and this is based on good behavior, right, of people within the user pool. So let me see if I can just quickly get that screen up. There we go. And by the way, if you do want to follow me on Twitter, right here is @invest_desk. So go right ahead. Or if you want to follow me at Claydesk, which is, of course, I'm the founder of Claydesk. We teach over 1 million students online on different courses. So yeah, definitely you can. You're welcome to check that out too. But game theory we're talking about. This is game theory. If you're already familiar with this, perfect. If not, of course, I'm not going to go in depth. But just to give you an idea, that Cardano is actually implementing game theory for their payouts, right? So within the user pool, because the fee gets collected in a user pool, and from that pool, user gets paid, okay? And that's, of course, the science of payment from the Cardano aspect, right? Who gets what and how much they get paid. And of course, that formula is based on game theory, okay? So you can kind of take a look at that and what that is. I know I delivered a lecture a long time ago in one of the colleges about game theory, or just a workshop rather. But what it is just a dilemma that, and probably you've heard of the prisoner's dilemma, right? That was one of the paradox where both prisoners are asked to testify against the other friend. So that's really what game theory is about. So if both performed good, then they both would have gotten out, okay? Whereas if one said, well, geez, the other person did it, I didn't do it, that's the problem, okay? So that's really the principle of goodness, okay? So that's really where the game theory comes in, and Cardano is on top of this, trying to implement game theory in terms of their payout. So those are the changes that Cardano has implemented, developers have implemented, and that's the reason why Cardano stock kind of rocketed upward, in the upward direction. Now the same thing, same concept applies to other cryptocurrencies. See what's going on, see what their designs are, see where they stand, what is happening. Are they being accepted within the society, at public at large? Do they solve a problem? And that's the key. Remember, the basic entrepreneur definition is that if you're an entrepreneur, you're actually solving a problem. That's the definition of an entrepreneur, right? So, and of course, I teach management here and there. I deliver lectures. So, yeah, that's really it. So, Dogecoin solves a huge problem, which is simple. If Bitcoin is designed for large payments and for international trade, just like Citigroup, we talked about that a couple of days ago, and Ethereum for contracts, right? Same thing, Cardano for contracts. There's no coin, there's no currency that you and I can use on a regular basis, okay? And that's what, makes Dogecoin stand out, okay? And that's really what the thing is with Dogecoin. It just stands out because it's the people's cryptocurrency. We need some cryptocurrency for our own selves to be able to transact, in small transactions. Not only just small transactions, but the interval time, right, for those transactions to get verified is less than 1 minute with Dogecoin, right? So it does solve a problem, right, at large. And the only reason, by the way, if you're probably thinking, geez, why isn't the price going up? Why isn't the price going up for Dogecoin? Why is it still at 0.05? So let me give you a tip here. Let's bring up the chart, and let me show you what actually happened. Okay, so let's bring up our friend Dogecoin. There we go. You see, Dogecoin last couple of months, there we go. Okay, it has grown over 1,000%. That's the simple answer, right? So if you're thinking, why is it not going up? It's not going up. Of course, it already went up 1,000%. And now, if you notice, for the last 2 weeks almost, right, it's been holding steady. Holding steady its ground. It's not coming down. The threshold level we identified was at 0.05, right? 0.05. That's the threshold. And of course, with this threshold, it is going to go, of course, either up or down. But we determined also the principles of basic, finance, right, or investment finance. It says that if it's holding up for a little over 4 hours, for example, that means it has met, it's stable, okay? It has a support. And the chances are, if that's the case, then it's most likely to go up, okay? And that's the key part. So Dogecoin definitely resolves or solves a problem. So let me know what you think. That's what, again, my take is and my research is. So let me know what problem does Dogecoin resolve, because we talked about what Cardano resolves, right? Solves the gas fee for Ethereum, and then Dogecoin solves day-to-day transactions. It's the people's crypto, and that's what it solves. All right, so thank you so much for joining, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like, and do bring in some comments. It's midweek, and it was kind of quiet today with Dogecoin, with the market, and things are moving in a positive direction. And we're talking about, will Cardano go to $10, and the Ethereum gas problem we talked about, and of course the Dogecoin prediction. Each of these cryptos, and including Bitcoin, of course, they solve a particular problem. And Dogecoin, of course, is, in my opinion, and I keep saying this, is undervalued. It's only 5 cents, okay? Which, again, it's still, compared to 2 months ago, if you had, Doge a couple of months ago, you would have gained 1,000% on your investment, okay? So hold tight. Make sure you hold Doge. That's the strategy we're using, and that's what we're moving and going towards in future. So every single time you take a look at a cryptocurrency, and that's what I do, by the way. When I take a look at a crypto, I don't just look at the speculative price and try to figure it out. It's much easier when you actually sit back, relax, and just take a look at the design of the coin, what purpose it solves, right? So I just wanted to share that today in our short stream, because that really helps me personally, myself, and of course my friends also. And I thank you so much for being on this channel. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and share also this channel with other friends so they can subscribe, because my goal is to not only get you informed with the latest update news regarding cryptocurrency, but also talk about the strategies that I use and I've been using for a long time, and they've been working pretty good. So of course I'm going to also talk about some in-depth analysis about technical indicators that I'll do some demos, short demos, so you will know exactly how to do a day trade maybe, because we are talking about holding and working with multiple portfolios, right? You want to be able to have a diverse fund, and that's important because you do not want to put all the eggs in one basket, right? All right, so let me go check some comments here. George Rudy, thank you. Always very informative, my friend. Cardano hits $5 this year and holding 1 million Doge till we reach the moon. Greetings from Peru. Welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. That's what we are. And let me write that down. And that's exactly a good strategy. So, and again, that depends on your own, of course, how you want to hold and what kind of portfolio you're building, whether you're holding it for your own self or whether you're have multiple portfolios. So it just depends. But the important thing is that you need to understand the currency itself, the crypto itself. Okay, and the more you understand, it's easier then to invest and create those portfolios. So we took a look at, will Cardano go to $10? Well, most definitely. I think, in my opinion, and just my opinion, don't hold me to it. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. But based on the momentum, based on the evidence, based on what's happening at Cardano, it's positioned well, right? So it solves a problem. It did solve a problem. That's why it actually went up. And the same reason, Ethereum solved a problem. And that's what caused Ethereum, the price, to go up, apart from of course the laws of demand and supply. And same thing with Bitcoin being the leader of the pack, because Bitcoin has been around and it has seen some turbulent times, right? But finally Bitcoin has come out to be one of the leading cryptocurrencies so far. But at the same time, with that said, you cannot use Bitcoin into a small grocery store, right? You cannot use Bitcoin to go and go shopping. And we do that every day. We go shopping every day. We eat out every day. We order pizza every day. Things like that. So and Bitcoin is not designed for that. Similarly, Ethereum and other coins are not designed for that. So let's think about a coin that is designed for that, and that's Dogecoin. Okay. So we'll continue to follow Dogecoin every single day. And I'm going to be streaming every single day. That's the goal moving forward. So I appreciate your support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and of course like, comment, and hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time I'm up streaming and talking about important areas behind what's driving these cryptocurrencies, not just price and not just speculation. So thanks again for your support. I appreciate that. Let's quickly take a look at the prices so Doge is at 0.050, holding steady, which is good. So again, if it breaks out, of course this is going to be in the positive direction, but yesterday it went down all the way to 0.45, 0.41, and that was a good time to buy, and we all bought it, right? So that was kind of nice, and we were holding it. And same thing with Cardano, ADA, right? Currency. So if you look at that, that's also kind of stabilizing. Okay, so the price went up because it solves a particular problem, the Ethereum gas problem, and that's one of the reasons. And of course the way it's structured, the way it's trying to pay the users within the pool on the game theory concept. So those are some of the areas that Cardano is well positioned moving forward, right? It has its own blockchain, so it's not built upon Ethereum anymore. It has created its own blockchain network, right? So it's on its own network, which is another important thought of it, by the way, for Cardano, because now it's not dependent on Ethereum's blockchain, because Ethereum's the growth of Ethereum is because all the rest of the cryptocurrencies are kind of piggyback. They're on a piggyback ride on Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum is the big guy, and the little guys are just paying Ethereum. Okay, think of that way. But Cardano broke out of the Ethereum's chain, and then of course stood on its own. Okay, so in layman terms, that's what's happened, and that's exactly what drove the price up for Cardano. So even if it's at $1.2425, that's what the range is, it still continued to go up. Why? Because it's going to take the Ethereum about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 or even longer, for the Ethereum 2 upgrade. And until and unless the Ethereum 2 upgrade comes in and the prices gets lower, right, the transaction fees gets lower, you're going to see Cardano go up. Okay, and that's easy. All right, that makes sense. So these are those reasons that I talk about on this channel, and why the prices go up. Okay, so keep a lookout for Cardano. I think it's a great stock, great buy. If you want to hold it for a little short to long term, I would certainly recommend, but again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't hold me to it, guys. I do it myself. So of course I share my own strategies with you on this channel, but of course you are independent and you make your own decisions. All right, so this is perfect. So once again, thank you again for your support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. And it's been sort of like a steady, quiet day. Not so much happening in terms of news. This happens in the market, okay, which is good, which is a good thing, by the way. Okay, it's not a bad sign; it's a good thing. So again, thank you so much for your support. I'm going to end the stream here. If you have any comments, put them down. Hit the bell notification, subscribe. And with this, let me first bring up one last thing. I almost forgot. And there it is. There it is, guys. So thank you so much for joining and being on this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like, hit the bell notification so you get notified. So we talked about, just a short summary recap about Cardano going to $10. Why? Because it solves the gas problem that Ethereum is facing. Okay, and I talked about that earlier. Okay, so if you're joining now, you can always go back and check it out and kind of take a look at from the beginning. So you'll know exactly what caused Cardano's price to shoot up. And I've also talked about the Ledger Nano S, because you want your crypto keys to be with you all the time. So you can check out the description below about the Ledger Nano S. So I put a link in there. So yeah, thanks so much. And we also talked about Dogecoin, of course, because Dogecoin also solves even a larger problem, okay? And it solves a problem for masses, which is the people's cryptocurrency. It will allow us to transact in less than a minute. Our transactions will be verified moving forward, and that's exactly what Dogecoin is positioned and designed to do. And of course, being an inflationary supply, inflationary design, and that's what basically keeping its prices low. And if Dogecoin gets capped, it's going to be higher than Bitcoin, right? So again, we'll talk about that sometimes later. But yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it. With this, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Take care.